Mike's Daily Podcast.
Well, it's hot now in the Bay Area. So hot, and it's going to get hotter. Heat.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
1858. That's what the FF episode is today. 1858. I hope you are having a great weekend or whatever day you are listening to this shoe. It's a fun shoe. It's a podcast for you. And I'm potting all over the place today because that's what I do.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Here in Podcastro Valleyton today, the last place on earth, Cafe Anyway. This is
Mike's.
And I'm Mike.
Daily.
And this is the Daily one. Podcast thing.
Yeah!
And you can call me at 336MM Daily. 336MM Daily. I got on the Cedar Rapids, Iowa Democratic Party Hall of Fame event. This is where all the Democrat candidates are coming out to say, hey, I'm running. They're all giving like a 2-minute, 3-minute speech. See, right now, I've seen Eric Swalwell from right here in Podcastro Valleyton. Actually, Dublin is where he came from. I think, yeah, he announced his candidacy right over there, like at some high school in Dublin. So he was just on the stage. He followed Cory Booker, preceded Bernie Sanders. This is fascinating to me. Do you know why I could never be a politician? I mean, I love Iowans. But, I mean, they gotta really kiss the Iowa butt. It's big time. Can you handle that? Can you kiss Iowa butt? I don't know if I can. I love Iowa. I went there in the early 80s one summer. My friend Derek, his family's from there. He said, do you want a vacation in Iowa? I said, sure. I was all of, 11 or something. I remember that summer, it was the Jacksons.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Michael Jackson had made it so big, so the Jackson 5 got back together to release an album together. They had a song called, I think, Torture. Was that it? Or Victory or something. And I remember just eating so much food and it being so humid. And we went to a water hole. Oh, this was the funnest thing ever. We got to row in canoes, and we had like a little canoe war. This isn't a picture of the canoe war, the podcast picture today. But two of our canoes, we were going up against each other, and our paddles were, hitting each other with water, doing the splashing, and all of a sudden we tipped over. And this is pre-cell phones, thank God. Because my wallet, I had one of those Velcro wallets. Basil, he likes Velcro wallets. He was at the podcast picture I'll tell you about in a moment. And it was soaking wet. I was soaking wet through and through. I still remember sitting on the bank of the lake trying to dry off. What a fun day. It was a great trip. The more I think about it, the more I love Iowa. Battle Creek, Iowa, town, very small. But 4th of July, there will never be a 4th of July like the one that I went to that day. This little 4th of July parade. When I think of American 4th of July parades, that to me was the most quintessential. Hot day, the sun beating down on you. It's so hot you think you're going to die. The red, white, and blue everywhere you look. Parading down the main street. They only had like one street. There was a Dairy Queen on the street. Yes, I know I'm being as cliche as I possibly can. I sound like a John Mellencamp song. Back to John Mellencamp from yesterday. John Mellencamp reference once again. What did I mean about John Mellencamp dying? I hope he doesn't die. The guy smokes a lot. That's all I'm saying. He should quit. My mom should quit for that matter, but that's a whole other topic. I don't like the smoking. I don't understand the smoking. I wake up now in the morning and somebody has been smoking in my neighborhood. I can smell it. I used to not smell it. Now I smell it. And I think it's the juvenile delinquent college dropout kids that live behind me. And they're like up on a hill. My property goes up a hill kind of. And this kid, I don't know how he took over the house. I think the parents got divorced and moved out and left him in the house. I don't know how he won that little entitled life. So he's sitting in the top story of his house. He goes out on his balcony and he smokes because his life is so hard. He's got to go out there and smoke. And the smoke comes wafting down into my house. Into my backyard. Thank God, not into my house. And I hear him up there coughing up a lung because he's smoking the pot of us. And just doing his stupid college boy dumb laugh with his friends. Oh, gosh. So, I know I'm judgmental. The heat does this to me. I apologize. It's hot. It's heating up. I'm a heater. I'm totally heating all over that guy. Yeah. No, we shouldn't be haters. That's true. We should be lovers. It goes back to my topic last show about your hating face. What I meant was, okay, hey, I think I jumped the topic here. I meant to say how much I love Iowa. And I reversed my hating position. I went on loving Iowa. Maybe I should run for president because I think I could go to Iowa and kiss Iowa butt. I bet I could. Because they have this thing in Iowa called a pork burger. They grind pork and they make it into this kind of like what they do with turkey burgers. I cannot find pork burgers anywhere. Well, not that I look for it, but back then it was so delicious. And I remember there was they gave me a little bumper sticker that promoted pork burgers. I think Iowa was trying to make it a thing. So we stayed on a farm and we picked the little bean. The farmer, my friend's grandfather was a farmer, and he had corn on one side of the farm and beans growing on the other. And what would happen though is occasionally the two would intermingle and you'd have to go through, and if there was like beans growing in the corn, you had to pick those. And if there was, I think the bigger problem was corn stalks started growing where the beans were. So we would have to do this chore called walking beans. And you'd walk the beans and pull the corn stalks out that were starting to grow, because otherwise it could kill the beans. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valleyton today. You know, there are so many beans growing everywhere here today, and that's good because they'll be delicious at some point. And corn growing. I should grow corn in my backyard. That'd be delicious. And people would come over and they'd go, Mike, this corn looks great. And I'd say, aw, shucks. Ba-da-boomts. Hey, so what happens then, you're walking the beans, and my mom would say, because I told her when I got back from Iowa, Mom, I walked beans. And she goes, oh, was her dog named Beans? Ba-da-boomts. One right after another today, ladies and gentlemen. Why is it the drum, which we call a rim shot, which is the worst name ever, you cannot just say rim shot anymore? That's a phrasing that's been taken away from us because of the internet and porn and everything else. All right, back to how much I love Iowa. Okay, so the other thing, Dairy Queen, you could get these gigantic shakes. Well, there's Dairy Queens everywhere now, but in the Bay Area, we have Dairy Queens, and then we have Queens, and then that went nowhere. Okay, hey, Pride happened, or is it going on? Podcastro Valley has its own Pride Festival. That's coming up soon, and it's always on the hottest day of the year. And they do it in this parking lot where there are solar panels, and you just have to hide under the solar panels to stay cool. And I took my dog Basil the Boxer, who you heard bark earlier, there last year as his legs were starting to give way, his back legs. And I remember a dog came up to him and barked, and he fell on his butt, and I felt so bad. Now that can't happen anymore because I got the harness on his butt, as I've talking to you in aforementioned podcasts. So he's doing good, and yesterday I took him to the wonderful cemetery in Piedmont, Oakland, called the Mountain View Cemetery, and you really can see just about all of the Bay Area from there. And these beautiful old grave markers and stones and mausoleums and crypts and everything you can imagine, and bloods. No, just crypts. And it's just the most amazing place, and the view is so wondrous. And yesterday, I could start seeing some smoke, that brownish haze coming down from the north. So there's a fire somewhere up north. Although, as I looked north today, outside a Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcaster Valleyton today, the last place on earth, I don't see any smoke, thank God. Even though we're in some hot, heater than hot conditions. Cafe Anyway, that was a beautiful view, and there's a picture there at MikesDailyPodcast.com. There's like an angel statue on top of this one crypt, and there's a blood by, and they got along though. Okay. The point is that there is a tank. I'm going to zip through this theory that I have real quick. In life, we have tanks. Tanks for this memory. That is this tank. There is a tank that you and I have. It's a mental, emotional type tank called an effort tank. Effort, yeah, as in make an effort, or that takes a lot of effort. In life, things are worth making an effort for, and there are things that take a lot of effort for. At the beginning of the day, depending on how much sleep we have had, our effort tank is full. If it is full, we can have a good day. If the tasks that we must do require not a lot of effort, we can get through the day and be good and have. Now, a lot of effort, tasks that require a lot of effort can also bring us a lot of reward and refill the effort tank. However, there are things that we do that require a lot of effort that drain our effort tank. There are people that drain our effort tank. We have amazing abilities if that effort tank is full. When we fall in love, our effort tank fills up. When we're full of hormones, our effort tank fills up. Our hormones. How do you make a hormone? Don't pay her. That was a joke from some bad comedian from the 70s. I didn't even understand it when I first heard it. I probably don't understand it now. The point is that we have this effort tank, and things take effort, and the tank can only fill so much, and then it drains, and then there's nothing left in it, and then everything requires, as the line from Parenthood said, Mary Steenburgen says to Steve Martin, "What do you mean you have to do that? What do you have to do this?" And then Steve Martin yells, "Everything I do is something I have to do." I'm paraphrasing. I'm not quoting directly. So just remember that. Things in life, and I think what we want to do, and my little bit of advice to you today, and I've so many thoughts in my brain that I can only focus to this one thing, and that is, do the things in life that maybe require effort, but also bring you joy. The things that bring you effort, hopefully bring you joy. If something requires effort and it brings you joy, no happiness, and just sucks more effort out of you and makes your effort tank dry and empty, get rid of it. That's something you should eject from your life. That's what I'm telling you today. The podcast picture is of the cemetery. And now I've suddenly lost every train of thought that I had. Oh, political campaigns. Cory Booker was on C-SPAN. I was watching him, and he made a joke about being bald, and about how at some point in his life he realized, I don't need to pay a barber to do my hair anymore because I can do it myself. In fact, a barber told him, and I guess this was somewhere in Stanford, which is close to where I am here in Podcaster Valleyton, said to him, "Hey, you don't need to cut your hair anymore. I don't need to cut your hair anymore. You can do it yourself. You can shave it because you're not growing much hair anymore." And so he shaves his head, and I go, kudos to that. I do the same, and I discovered that more than 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I think. And I was so happy. It made my life easy because it was effortless. It requires a little bit of effort to shave your head. I suggest if you're going to do it in the shower. If you can grow hair, don't do it. That's what I say. Go to the barber. Enjoy your hair for all it's worth. Enjoy the effort that it takes to get your hair cut. Because your hair probably looks great, and, in the end, all us bald guys are jealous. But don't forget, too, that bald is beautiful, and our national symbol, the eagle that we have, is bald. He's a bald eagle, and bald is beautiful. The end. Hey, let's say hi to some people here today. Hi, Mark. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. Hi.
It's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
I am not bald. I got a bunch of hair underneath this hat. That's right. I hate Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, I saw a Tulsi Gabbard bumper sticker the other day in Fremont. And by the way, I'm seeing way too many douchelas all over the Bay Area. Yesterday when I was driving home from Podcastro Valentino, I saw every fifth car was a Tesla. Ugh. And the only reason why Teslas are so popular here in the Bay Area is because it is a stupid, keeping up with the Joneses crap here in the Bay Area. Before I moved to the Bay Area, nobody that I knew in the country cared about Tahoe. Nobody. And I get to the Bay Area, everybody's like, I got a house in Tahoe. I'm going to go to Tahoe. Keep Tahoe blue, bro. And who cares? There are other beautiful places in California. You don't always have to go to Tahoe. You don't always have to have a freaking Tesla. I don't get it. And stupid Teslas are what caused my power to go out the other day because somebody blew a transformer, and that's phrasing. Hey, look who else is here.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. How's some right now? Oh, boy. Tulsi Gabbard's beautiful.
Tulsi Gabbard is a surfer from Hawaii. And yes, she is a young lady, I think. I don't know. She's from Hawaii. That's all I know. But will she be our president? That would be interesting. We need a woman president sometime soon, possibly. I don't know. I'm not part of any campaign. I don't ever want to be part of a campaign. It looks like it's too much work. And yes, it's something to believe in. It's maybe the effort is rewarding in that case. I don't know what I'm talking about. I guess I'll wrap up the show here because the heat's getting to me. Tulsi Gabbard, bring us some wonderful, cool Hawaii breezes, please. And bring us another show. Next time will be the wonderful... Who's going to be here? Who's got the next podcast? Would be Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. And then we got Ariel to do. Don't waste your efforts on hating. That's probably a good way to end the show. All right. 336MM Daily. Tell me what you think. 336MM Daily. And check out MikesDailyPodcast.com. Ariel telling us more about that. And hopefully I'll get to another show very soon. This week. Hopefully more than just one. We'll see. I'll put my effort into it and see what happens. If my effort tank is drained, I won't be able to do it. But okay. Here we go.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.